Recently, I came across with a video. There's a guy who talked about his herpes experience.
Like 13 times total, not 13 partners, like 13 individual sexual acts. How did I get herpes?
Genital herpes is an STD caused by two types of viruses, HSV1, HSV2. HSV1 often causes oral herpes, which can result in cold sores or fever blisters on or around the mouth. However, most people with oral herpes do not have any symptoms. Most people with oral herpes get it from childhood or young adulthood from non-sexual contact with saliva. You can get HSV2, which is genital herpes, by having oral sex, anal sex, or vaginal sex from someone who has the infection.
I didn't just have a giant laundry list of partners before I can get genital herpes. Most people, we don't discuss, hey, what's your STI history? This is not something that people want to talk about before they get physical. Things got spicy. And the next day, no real symptoms.
Some people with the virus never experience the telltale outbreak of blisters and sores, but they are still contagious. This is why getting tested for herpes virus is extremely important before you commit into a relationship with someone.
Went home, came back the next day to see them again, had sex again, and what I believe is that they either were developing a herpes outbreak or they had one at the time but had no idea. And then I eventually had symptoms about 2 to 4 days after that initial meetup. I had to go to a walk-in clinic and the doctor looks at me and says, "Oh, looks like herpes." And I thought, oh, my life is over. How am I gonna go about my life now? And basically it was prescribed some antivirals, took the bus home and just accepted my reality.
Genital herpes is likely the most feared and least understood sexually transmitted infection. There's no cure, so people infected with herpes have it forever. You'll not get herpes from swimming pool, toilet seat, bedding, or touching objects such as silverware, towels, or soap.
And at this point, I had sort of gotten past the perspective of being in immense pain, but I still hadn't got past, how am I going to tell someone? Am I going to be single forever? How do I date? How do I disclose? What are they going to think of me? I said, don't let this prevent you from dating, because you don't know how someone's going to react until you actually do that. I never wanted to make myself undateable simply because I have this virus. So there is a herpes dating app, or essentially an app for people with incurable STIs, such as herpes or HIV or HPV. And I never actually found a partner off the herpes dating app, but these can actually allow you to find people who have the same diagnosis, so there's no risk of transmission, or these can get to people who are dealing with the same condition connected. So I currently have a partner. We've been together for maybe a year or so, but I think a lot of people who get diagnosed, they think, let me find the first person to accept me and I'll just be with them. And you shouldn't view yourself as like lesser. I am not my diagnosis, I just happen to have a virus. I am seen. Are you?